Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, good night, good morning, depending on where you're watching from. This is your host, Faith Adodo from Prestigious Talk Show. As you can see, I am super excited to have the only Tracy Berry live with us on Prestigious Talk Show. I am so excited to have her. Please, viewers, I want you to stay tuned and listen to her. Today is going to be a lot. You're going to have a lot of information to take from her today. So before then, stay tuned and watch us as I introduce Tracy Berry live on Prestigious Talk Show. Thank you very much, viewers, for watching. So Tracy, you're welcome to Prestigious Talk Show.
Thanks, Faith. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So viewers, I'm just quickly going to read Tracy's bio. So for those of you that don't know her, you know who she is and what she does for a living. She's a superwoman. I am proud of this lady right here with us. I don't know how to even express the way I feel about her. She's one woman that I also respect a lot. You know, if you're watching right now, you're going to extract a lot of information from this wonderful, young, beautiful woman. She has a lot to give. She has been impacting lives here in Canada, even everywhere globally. Tracy is transforming women's life. Her mainstream is on women. She focuses on women. I'm just going to read her bio, so stay tuned and hear what she does, okay? So who is Tracy? So Tracy is an award-winning career and equitable leadership strategist who has dedicated her career to help women, especially BIWOC and immigrant women accessing new opportunities. In 2017, under Grow Foundation, Tracy launched Project 150 here in Canada. She accomplished immigrant women in Canada where she began gathering stories from more than 200 immigrant women across Canada who had overcome adversity to achieve success in career and lives. Okay, many women who shared their story often shared their desire to knowledge, resources, and guidance they wish they had along the way. So as she collected their stories of resilience, Tracy realized this wealth of knowledge could add value, insight to other immigrant women and the communities. So she published the collection in a book, Untold Story of Immigrant Women in Canada. But Tracy knew her work did not stop there. She saw there were still gaps in empowerment, leadership, and career development services for immigrant women and realized she can do something to bridge those gaps. So in 2018, she founded Grow Women Leaders in a development and achievement platform designed to help BIWOC and immigrant women get hired and advance their career to transcend and reach their full potential, personal development, leadership, civic engagement, and entrepreneurship. In the last few years, Grow has supported women in Alberta and across the country by equipping them with skills, tools, and resources they need to lead and advance their career. So today, I want Tracy to tell us what I know some of you will be watching and ask, you might wonder, what does BIOC, sorry, BIWOC means. So I want Tracy to explain that to us. And please listen to Tracy. Tracy, first of all, I want you to unpack what BIWOC means to our viewers, because some of them might be wondering, what does that mean? What does that mean, please?
Yes,
What
it
is BIWOC?
It is BIWOC, BIWOC, which is Black Indigenous Women of Color. So it's just like an acronym to group a minority together, right? So just like, it's what is made. It's called Black Indigenous Women of Color.
Okay, Black Indigenous women of color. So
And
Tracy,
I think you guys are used to BIPOC too, like the Black people, Black Indigenous people of color. So because we specialize with women, so we call us Black Indigenous women of color. So it's just long, but we just have to like use the acronym what we do.
Okay, thank you very much for letting our viewers know, because I know some of our viewers, they might be wondering, what does that mean? What does that stand for? So just to ensure that, yes, we want to help them understand what that means, you have to tell them exactly what the BIWC means so that they don't assume. So thank you for actually unpacking that. And today we are privileged, as I've said, to have Tracy Berry with us. She has done tremendous work in Canada. You know, she has transformed so many women's life. She has helped women with careers, women that want advancement in their career, women that need help. She has done so much. You know, based on her bio, she talked about the Project 150. Project 150 was launched in 2018, right? Yeah, so a lot of women shared their stories in that Project 150.
Yes.
Trust me, that was an amazing project. Tracy went all over, in short, almost all the provinces. She met with different women and they all shared their story. And she deemed it fit that it is time for her to keep, you know, for her to use those stories to also uplift other women who are coming up so that their stories will also help others who feel like, oh, I'm an immigrant, I don't know what to do. With the help of those immigrants that have, you know, climbed the ladder and they are now on top, yes, you'll be able to emulate them and say, okay, if they can do it, I can also do it. So, Tracy, I really want to thank you for that wonderful job that you did and the job that you're still doing up to this moment. Tracy, thank you very much on behalf of other women in Canada and all over the globe. I say thank you. We need women like you, powerful women up there who are willing to help women that are less privileged, women that don't know what to do, how to get up there. Thank you so much, Tracy. And I am really honored to have you live on Prestigious Talk Show. So welcome once again to our show.
Really appreciate that. Thank you. I look up to you a lot. You know that.
Yes.
I look up to you a lot. My inspiration. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah. So, viewers, if you're just coming, we have Tracy live with us. She's the CEO of Grow Women Leader here in Canada. She's actually in Avatar, so she's transforming lives. She's helping women, and she helps in all ramification. So, if you have any questions, please feel free to send us your messages. Tracy will be able to help us, and she will tell you what to do. So, if you have the need to talk to Tracy, I will see your comments. Just send us a message via comments. Okay. And I will read it out and she'll be able to help you. So before we go into today's show, we have questions that we want Tracy to help us address live here on Prestigious Talk Show. She'll tell us how she started this whole journey, what inspired her, and everything. So, Tracy, our first question for today is we want you to tell us what is the inspiration behind your organization, what actually inspired you to start this organization.
All
Yes.
right. Thanks for that. And the question is I like that, very valid. It's every other story around being an immigrant in a new country. Apparently,
Mhm.
I came to Canada at a very tender teenage, my teenage years.
Mhm.
Um, um, I was going through what I didn't expect when it comes to integration, like the expectation around, when we are back home, we see the Western world, like all the
Yes.
snow and the ice cream at the street and all that. You always
Yes.
have this fantasy, like you want to
Mhm.
come to, North America or wherever you think is developed, just to have a better life. Apparently, when you get to that place, it's not always like it seems. So it
Yeah,
was
greener pasture, right?
exactly, and wanting to now integrate how hard it was, being the only one in Canada. And during my ordeal, making a lot of mistakes. There was no guidance from anyone.
Mhm.
The background that I came from didn't even prepare me for it. It's like
Yes.
you came from a background that's you had a vision or you had a way of doing things. Like all of a sudden you
Mhm.
come maybe a place that give you more opportunity because of the
Mhm.
background you have. You see that even the opportunity that you have access to might not
Yeah.
even happen. So when I was going through my ordeal, I also saw a lot of women that was going through the same, right? Having
Mhm.
it difficult to integrate, and we were just like doing the survival of the fittest. So
Mhm.
basically, for that, seeing those women and myself included, what we're going through, didn't actually show that. we lack competency in any ways. It was just that
Mm-hmm.
I saw it was like a proper guidance that was not there. You know,
Yes.
somebody wasn't there to, which I know, like coming to a new country, there's usually no manual of any sort to say this is what you're gonna do, this is what you're gonna do, right?
Yes.
So yeah, and I have to also give this out here. When you come to Canada, there's always like, that first commerce services that is going to help you to the best ability settle down. But when you
Yes.
settle down, in that case, when you're a newcomer, afterwards, not really anything is put in place there. And this is where I
Yeah.
see many of us as immigrants and others that I saw was having problem. What happened
Mm-hmm.
afterwards? Happened after getting a shelter? What happened after opening a bank account? What
Exactly.
happened after getting
Yes.
a driver's license? What do I do with my life? And
Yes.
I those women. And just saying that, making that promise to myself, because I really went through a tough time. Like if you read the book
Mm.
Stories of Immigrants, you get to hear a little bit of me explaining what I thought it was like, right?
Yeah.
So me saying, you know what, I know what the problem was. It was lack of guidance that wasn't there for me.
Yes.
I was gonna be when I'm done fixing myself. At this time,
Mm-hmm.
I just made a mistake. I've made a lot of mistakes then. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I didn't even know where to start. At one point, it was like I was in the middle of an ocean, right? I didn't even know where to.
Yeah.
Should I move left?
Yes.
Should I move right? Should I move
Right.
forward? And you're seeing all this traffic light, people like doing amazing in front of you.
Yes.
Past, I said to myself, like, if I was able to find myself and actually
Mm.
integrate, I will never let any woman, especially from the by work community or
Mm-hmm.
immigrant, go through what I've gone through. Literally, I'm going to be using what I've been through to educate other women, because I didn't really see why I would allow other women to go through what I was going through anyway, right? So
Mm.
that's how the inspiration of Grow came about, and that was
Wow.
how when I started finding myself, just by that word, I think they said the word is really
Yeah.
powerful. I started actually finding myself. Things was getting better. A lot of women now were now admiring me to say, "Oh my God!" Apparently, for those I don't know, I'm a mother of five.
Mm.
I started.
Wow. You look good. Beautiful.
I started taking big moves, like making some big move, and I saw women, those women that I predicted was going to be
Yeah.
seeing the difference. Saying, Tracy, oh my goodness, you have 5 kids, you're an immigrant too. Look at what you're doing. Like I really feel, I wish I could do this, right?
Mm.
A lot of women was, I'm like, ooh, I haven't even started. Like, if you're admiring me, what about women that have done
Mm-hmm.
amazing? Like, I am not even close to where I want to be yet. But those
Mm-hmm.
women that I was seeing and that was meeting me there, find eight feet. They were thinking that, you know what, you were doing amazing for where you are. And for me, I was like, no, I was not. And when the opportunity came was in that 2017, when I was like, ooh, Canada was celebrating 150. And these women that has been saying that I was doing amazing. And for me, I'm still saying, no, I'm not even there. I'm still not even there yet. What if I go look for these women that are actually accomplished as an immigrant woman? Use this opportunity of Canada 150 to go meet with
Yes.
150 women across Canada
Mm-hmm.
that has already, like, you can see it from their career, from how they're
Yes.
living, their lifestyle. You
Yes.
could actually know that they are accomplished. What if I go collect their stories and then actually
Mm-hmm.
put it together for Canada 150 and then
Mm-hmm.
distribute it to other women that are looking for inspiration?
Mm-hmm.
Said from the beginning, because when they read it, they will be able to know that there's hope. Matter of fact,
Yes.
you can reach far as much as possible. What if I
Mm.
did that? And that is how it all started. Like that
Wow.
idea alone, faith changed my life forever. How did it change my life? That I
Mm.
decided to execute on that little thought that said, Tracy, go ahead and get it done. Even with all
Mm-hmm.
the baggages that I had, by then I was in school. I have kids to take care of. I was in
Mm.
school. I just moved to a new province, right? I didn't
Yes.
know anybody. I was barely a year plus there. Just executing that and saying, you know what, I'm going to get it done, irrespective of what it's going to take, is what literally changed my life
Wow.
forever. And I also usually had to say, with the lifestyle that I had, I know when I say it, people are like, are you kidding? I'm like, I'm an introvert to the core. So I am, I am not really the one that would go out there and put their face out,
So
but
you're out there right now.
yeah, people don't know that. Like I'm a very shy person, and I'm like very like to myself. That's my
Yes.
personality. But people see me as like,
Mm.
"Shut up, girl." That's not true. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, and because of that, I don't even do any celebration. Like even for my kids, like I like comfort zone. I have to
Mhm.
push all those things to do what I had to do, which was very hard for this show, but I did it anyway, and I'm very thankful to God for letting me do that. So that's how I became the person I am today. I'm very thankful
Wow.
that I did that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the question behind that.
That is very, that is really inspiring. Trust me. You know, the beauty of what you've just said is just the fact that even though you went through a lot when you first came, you didn't see the negative side of it. From that struggle that you went through when you first migrated to Canada, you decide to use it to grow yourself, and also not just to grow yourself, but to help other women grow, which is really, really amazing. That is just the beauty of your story. You know, I'm even inspired myself. The fact that you went through a lot, there was no help. You were not, you navigated your way by yourself. You did everything. Oh my goodness, it's really amazing that even though you went through all those tough times, you didn't say, no, I can't do this. You said, you know what? I need to help other women. I need to help other immigrant women who might be passing through the same thing. So with this, if I share my story with them and also collect other women's story, they will be inspired, which is really amazing. Kudos to you, Tracy. And I love that so much. It is really beautiful to hear amazing stories like this. It is, again, it's because of the burning desire you have. I tell people, if you love something, if you want something, you have passion for something, you have to be yearning for it. You have to have a desire to go for it. When you have a desire, of course, you will definitely expand. So thank you very much, Tracy, for actually answering that question. So viewers, we are just quickly going to go on break. I will see you shortly. All right, welcome back, viewers. I'm live here with Tracy Berry. For those of you that are just watching right now, I have Tracy Berry. She's the founder and CEO of Grow Women Leader Life here in Canada. Uh, she's in Alberta, to be precise. She's with us, and we have so many things to discuss today. Please stay tuned, stay with us, and listen to Tracy. So, Tracy, I know you talked about Project 150. That would have been my second question, because you almost, went through everything. You said our second question is, you recently launched the 150 project. Tell us about this project and how this has helped shape your perspective about immigrant women. You talked about it. So let's just go to the next question. Yeah.
Maybe briefly,
Yeah.
I could add a little bit to that, because
Okay.
how it shaped my perspective.
Yeah.
Yes, beginning the project actually changed my life. And
Okay.
actually, continuing and meeting with the women that I met with, shaped my perspective about life, about everything that life got to offer. And individually, I was able to really know individual. Because something that I know, and I have to put this out there, as an immigrant to any country, I found that we are really close to, like, I know that's the best thing to do. Like, you know what, this is my community, I'm going to remain here. This is my religion, I'm going to remain here. So sometimes we are very, now for the rest of our life, we don't find growth because we now start having this idea of, oh, because this is my community, I'm going to be around my community. So, and I was like that for many, many years. Like, I was like that for so many years. And until this project that actually led me to start meeting different ethnic culture, like meeting ethnic group. That's then when I start to learn about people and their ethnic group and their culture, it actually made me like become a better person. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So yeah, that was what Project 150 was about, because meeting these women who was sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. We are live.
Distraction here.
Yeah,
so.
anything can happen in life. Viewers, please stay tuned. We are live. This is no filter. This is live and direct. It is raw. Okay, so go ahead. And we are doing it from home.
I've got a little one right now, so pardon
Yes,
that.
of course. That's okay.
So yeah, meeting with these women and opportunity to now actually start working with other
Yes.
big group in Canada, because that's what Canada offers, like
Yes.
multicultural. Where in Africa, we tend to
Yes.
meet with Africans and with
Yes.
dialects. So Canada offered that. So that is how, like, just meeting with women from different culture and different ethnic group actually just, make my own idea evolve and all that. With my
Change.
book, you will be able to know that, and it was just a blessing in disguise. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
also, and I just told you how my career changed as a result of that, how the
Mm-hmm.
dynamics of my life changed as a result of that. And I use this opportunity to also urge people that are watching this to actually, think outside the box. When they say think
Yes.
outside the box, that is actually what we actually say, because looking outside of your culture, your
Yes.
community only, can
Yes.
bring you to actually start working with your purpose, right? Because that is
Yes.
exactly what's
Happened to
happened
you.
in my life. Because now,
Yes.
not only because I said yes to wanting to do something that was so hard for me,
Mm-hmm.
I was able to find my calling. Actually deciding to do what was hard is how I'm not. Everybody can now see that I work in my purpose, and the growth
Yes.
has been amazing.
Wow, I love that. I love the fact that you talked about, um, looking outside the box. To meet with different people, you have to. For me personally, from what I understand that you've just said, is like people should have this growth mindset instead of having this fixed mindset. When you have a growth mindset, you're willing to meet with different people. You're willing to meet with anybody from anywhere, and that will enrich your knowledge, your ideas, your views about life. You see life from different angle, from different perspective. You're not only seeing it from only one spectrum. Now you're seeing it from different perspective, because you get to hear from somebody that is an immigrant that is from India, somebody that is an immigrant that is from Guyana, somebody that is an immigrant that is from Africa, somebody that is an immigrant. You get to hear and talk about their values, their culture. And that is just the beauty of it. And that is why I actually love what you do. You meet with different women and you were able to put them together, put their stories together to help almost all immigrants. I'll tell you, as an immigrant myself, there is that cultural shock. When you first arrive as an immigrant, you meet different people. Their way of life is not the same as yours. Integrated into the society becomes really problematic. I know they have this program, settlers program. You can meet with your social worker, they will introduce you. But when you have a black woman like yourself, or somebody that is an immigrant too, that you not feel intimidated by, it is a plus. So that is really amazing. Thank you so much. The fact that you talked about all this just take me back to when I first came, and how I juggle my life, try to integrate into the society was really, really challenging. And you've touched on that. For those of you watching me, if you're new in Canada, or if in Canada, wherever you're watching from, or you're planning to come to Canada, please, this program today will benefit you. I'm not lying to you. This program is going to benefit you. You have to watch this program. If you have any question, please send us your question. I can read it to Tracy, and she'll be able to answer any question that you have. So please feel free to do that. I'll read your comments and Tracy will unpack it for us. So she's the expert here. She's helping women. She's helping immigrant women. Okay, immigrant women, whether you're Indian, whether you're black, whether you're from Spanish, wherever you're from, as long as you're an immigrant woman, Tracy will be able to help you. Okay, so with that being said, we are just quickly going to go on a commercial break. Please, for those of you that want to advertise with us, feel free to advertise with us. And I'm just going to quickly go on a 30 seconds commercial break right now. I'll see you soon. All right, welcome back, viewers. Yeah, that was an advert from Katia Valino. For those of you watching, she have a new makeup line coming to you soon. Watch out, Katia Valino. Shout out to her. So, if you want to advertise with us, please feel free to send us a message. Our website is there, or you can send message me via Facebook or email. Okay, and we also have just send us a message. And for sponsorship too, please sponsor. We want this program to grow, to reach out to the world. Okay, so thank you very much. So welcome back, everyone. So Tracy, you're welcome back. So our next question is, could you give us some of the challenges that immigrant women face in terms of employment in Canada? What are the challenges you think immigrant women are faced with in terms of employment in Canada?
You know what? During the Project 150, which is always like my
Yes.
source, and like I have a real source to go to. So the idea was to actually bring on women that are already accomplished to come share how they became, right?
Yes.
And those that we invited to come listen to these women,
Mm.
at first I didn't really have any plan for these women, just come
Yeah.
listen. I thought I was gonna do it. Like when Faith come, which we were amazing participants of the Project 150, come
Yes.
listen to a story, and then you can actually um, be able to be inspired and become whatever you want to be just by listening to the participants. And it was
Yes.
after the story was done, and the women that was listening will come tell me, Tracy, damn, moved no, it's okay. Also moved by what this participant in politics or in this managerial role or in this business
Yes.
already share. But it's just that
Yes.
I don't really know how to move on or how to get this done. And then they'll start
Yes.
attacking their story to say, hey, I'm
Yes.
from this and I'm from that, I'm from that. I didn't really know what to go, how to go about it. Then I was like, oh my God,
Yes.
when I was planning this project to do that, I was not really doing any plan for these women, right?
Yeah.
So, and during this project, when these women come to the platform, and the women that I was also listening to as the ones that came to listen, they were talking about, you know what, some of them will have like masters,
Yeah.
degrees,
Hmm.
they have PhDs from back home, and
Yeah.
language barrier, because when you come to Canada, from like most of the us here we speak English or either French, right? So these women
Yes.
now we start having difficulties because they have to learn English. It doesn't really matter
Yes.
the amount of education that
That they
they
have.
are from back home. So because of
Yes.
that, they don't find adequate job, right? So adequate job will be as a result of not being able to speak the language properly, or directly tied to who's going to, some of them come here with kids, or when they come here they start having kids, so not
Hmm.
having, many of them come from maybe culture that is really tight, that everyone take care of each other. Now they have to
Yeah.
come learn the Canadian way of taking care of children and all those
Yeah.
things. I saw that was becoming like an hindrance to these women from finding adequate employment as an immigrant, and also
Yes. Yeah.
discrimination
Discrimination.
an immigrant or thinking like if I actually did a talk yesterday. We have these growth talks that we do with
Hmm.
like employers and participants and all that. You
Hmm.
see us talking about concern that many of these immigrants they are raising, just because
Hmm.
people are thinking because they are immigrants they don't
Hmm.
have what it takes to offer a service, or they are not just good enough. You know what I mean? So those things that in addition to childcare,
Yes.
discrimination, are not able to
Yes.
speak the language properly.
Yes.
And you know what? We also got
Yes.
into it, employment process, hiring process of the
Yes.
discrimination, the bias that was facing this women. So those were really
Yes.
the things that we find that was stopping women, especially the immigrant women, find adequate job in Canada. And those were the things that these women we are talking about, and how they had to break through that to become successful. We almost know that it was just a few fracture of those women that become really successful. Let's say, I'm just don't hold me to this. Let's say, for example, out of 100%, women that are
Yes.
actually breaking through as immigrants is just a fracture of that really get to the top, right? Why a lot of
Hmm.
people, a lot of these immigrant women are still wondering to say, how do I navigate it? What can I do because of all that? And just as a result of that, because they don't have an adequate job, they are not doing what they love, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, that was the reason why I had to start my Grow Women Leaders firm, which is a career leadership development and advancement platform. As a
Mm-hmm.
result of what we do now under Grow Women Leaders, we are able to get women hired, turn ideas, which is usually business idea, and advance
Mm-hmm.
their career. That is what we do under the firm that I currently run. Because of that issue of immigrant
Yes.
women, especially all women has issue, which I've studied
Mm-hmm.
in about, but
Yes.
immigrant women seems to be having more. By work community seems to be having more difficult, which I titled in my own it's called inequality within inequality. So with
Mm-hmm.
what I do today now is to try and bridge those gaps that everybody have access to equal opportunity, especially Canada's got that to offer, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I do. And those women talk about a lot of concerns, which actually through my firm now, I'm working to actually work with those women that are finding employment issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So you have a firm whereby you help women with employment. Is that what
Yes.
you said?
So,
Wow. Do
so
they have to go through any
yeah.
is there any program or is there any course that they need to take to get into the into your program? What do they need to do?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So it's a career leadership development
Okay.
advancement. So as a result of what we do, we are able to get women hired, turn
Hmm.
ideas into reality and advance their career. And we know after doing more research, because after Project 150, I had to
Hmm.
also go do additional research. I hired the
Wow.
best researchers in Canada. Like if you know my researchers team, they are the best to go dig out all the information that we're working with. It's there.
Wow.
It is amazing. So after that was done, so after the project 150 1 year, that one took us 1 year. We published a book,
Mhm.
and I found out after we did the analysis from what women shared. I was like, damn, like my heart, as you said, my eye opened, my eye opened. I was like, damn, this is a big gap that we have here. And if
Yes.
we start fixing it, there is
Mhm.
going to be always this inequality that will be existing, that people are going to
Mhm.
be so afraid of talking about. And for me, and I'm like, since I went ahead to find this problem, since went ahead to do more digging, I should as well find a solution, right?
Of course.
So
Yes. Yeah,
I,
which is what you did.
this is what I did. So I went ahead to go. I didn't want to be hearing they said, this one said, the star said. And funny enough, when you go, you are a scholar, you know what I mean. When you go on a
Yeah.
database, there is not much research for immigrant women. So you can go
No.
dig. Like all the schools out there, they've never really done a focused a research on
Yeah.
immigrants. Like I wonder why that is. When we were actually searching through the database, there was no research for what immigrant women and now breaking down into ethnic group we are facing. Like instead,
Yeah.
most categorized into all women, all women. Oh, women are not in politics. Women are not starting businesses a lot. Women are not getting in the CEO position. Women are not getting in the
So who
leadership.
are the women that we are talking about now? Now I see what you're saying, which is true.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is true. We are not is there is like immigrant women are excluded from that all women.
Yes. So, and for us right now, my own idea, yes, I work with all women, but there's more
Mhm.
focus on by work, Black,
Yeah.
Indigenous women of color, and also
Yeah.
immigrant. Because I want us to actually create an equitable opportunity, especially when it comes
Yes.
to employment for all, because that's
Mhm.
what we all have to. Because I did a talk at the beginning of the year, no, it's not too long ago from the university, and I did a talk about equitable employment. And guess
Yeah.
what? When the students started talking about the challenges they were going through, like I was
Yes.
literally almost crying, like to already see that young students, even with
They're
all
experiencing
the
it.
skills, what they're already experiencing as a by work community, it's very
Yes.
breaking, to know that even like all the amounts that you put into going to school and all the
Yeah.
things you've done, your parents have done for you, to know that
Yes.
there's some discrimination that is going to stop this case from going further was really hard for me. And I have to say, you know what, I have to triple down on what I was doing. So that's what we do.
Mhm.
Yes. To go back to your question, we have a program that we run, because even
Mhm.
not just from the women perspective only, not just from immigrant women perspective, we have to go digging into employers perspective, other leaders
Yes.
perspective,
Yeah.
asking them what does grow
What do
women.
you want? Yes.
So when you not answer what it means to you, then I ask you, why is it that it's not actually there? And then
Yeah.
they also gave me their concern. And then what do you want in order to see these women in
Yes.
they also, so we gathered those data, and that's what we're working with today. And that's what Grow Women Leaders. It's everything. The name is just
Wow.
everything. We're able to branch into all this, and because of that, when we finish the second aspect of the research, we have to come up with a program, which is the Canadian Career Plus program,
Mm.
which aim now is to support women that are looking to get in a leadership role, and also
Mm.
employers that are looking to diversify their work. So that's what we mainly specialize on at Grow Women Leaders. At the end
Wow.
of at the end of the day, we are actually bridging that inequality that is still existing in our society today. So that's why I'm so proud about what I do. And
Wow, that's awesome. I can see that you're doing your own quarter. You're trying to bridge that gap to ensure that especially Black Indigenous women, they have a space when it comes to employment, securing career and all that. The fact that you saw the problem and you feel the need to also solve the problem, that makes it even more amazing. It's not just about identifying the problem. Now you've been able to identify the problem and you know that yes, we need to solve this problem. And by solving the problem, you went as far as doing your own research. You asked the immigrant women, what do you think, why do you think you're not getting a job? They explained, and you also went to the employers. What do you need in order for these people to secure a job? From those two perspectives, you know what to do in order to solve that problem, which is really really amazing. I can't even thank you enough. I feel really impressed to hear that you've done so much research, extensive research. For those of you watching right now, this is not easy. Tracy used her own lived experience because of the fact that she herself, she's an immigrant woman. She came to Canada. She struggled with getting finding a job, but she used her own lived experience to transform life, to help other immigrant women who are going through the same thing. Okay, she has done so many research, and she has been able to collect stories from different immigrant women who have made it to the top, and that story will enhance and also help other immigrant women who are thinking, oh, I am here right now, I don't know if I can make it, I am a Black woman, I don't think I can get up to this standard. Hey, Tracy is telling you today that if they can do it, you can also do it better. Okay, so Tracy, I am really really glad to have you here. Remember, I interviewed you about 5 or 6 years ago. I told you I will have you back live on Prestigious Talk Show. Then you were only doing something. I forgot what you were doing then.
I
You
was
know,
in
it's
wellness.
yeah, wellness. Can you imagine? Yeah, Tracy, she's awesome. She's an awesome lady. Trust me, she has a lot to give to the society. She has a lot to give to the world in general. It's not just
Thank
only Canada. She's extending her hand to Africa, to Nigeria to be precise, and other places. So Tracy, her interest is in women. She wants to bridge that gap of inequality, injustice that is done to women. As you can see, Tracy is on the right path, working with women, and I'm super proud of her. So thank you all for watching, and please continue to watch. We have a lot to share today, and if you have any questions, as I've said before, please feel free to send us your message. I'll read it out, and Tracy will be able to help you unpack that question. So with that being said, Tracy has really answered so much, because some of the questions I would have loved to ask, but you answered them
you.
inside.
Yeah, it's
Yes, yeah,
fun.
because everything is like intertwined, they link. So the next question that I would like to ask you here, I'll just skip it. I'll go to question number 6. Um okay, so I'll just go to number 7 because you basically answered numbers. I'm telling you. So why are women especially vulnerable to poverty in Canada, especially immigrant women? Why do you think women are vulnerable to poverty? We have more women when it comes to poverty. You see the statistics. Statistics have shown that women are more, when it comes to poverty line. When you check the statistics, it has shown that women are more vulnerable to poverty in Canada and all over. If we are talking about globally too, you see that women, they are almost, nearly almost, I don't know, women are more when it comes to that statistics. Looking at the range of people that are poor today all over the world, you see that women are vulnerable and women are more. So why do you think that happens? Let's look at Canada right now because we are in Canada. Yeah.
We'll start
Yeah.
from Canada.
Yeah.
I think number one, the only one word I have for that is support.
Yeah.
They are not getting the support. And secondly, I will also say like openness, like the way that the society is constructed, there is a view of how women should present themselves, right?
Yes.
So because of that view, women now have unlimited opportunity, right? Unlimited opportunity. Let's give an example. As a woman that will have a kid, right? The society view is that you only be a mother, right? And then when you
Yes.
try to do something that is more than just being mother to kids, they will
Hmm.
you will have to give up a lot, and also the
Yeah.
society will
So
be
the opportunity is limited. So it's not.
limited,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
have to split your time being a nurturer or a caregiver and now wanting to get something that is supposed to push you forward, that is supposed to catapult you forward. I'll give an example of myself. During the time that I was just beginning, I know like the kind of um, advice that I was told blank to my face. Now, I always say this in anywhere I go, which I'm going
Yeah.
to be putting my book to. Like a
Yeah.
man that was supposed to be a service provider,
Yeah.
when I want to go sought after service to say, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do. Like, when you're in that infancy state, and particularly when you're led and when you're really like ambitious, which they always say,
Yes.
oh, you're so ambitious, like that is a consequence of being ambitious. I have a lot to say around this, and now because I was just on fire, like this woman that is on purpose,
Yeah.
like I know what the problem is. I feel like it's
Yes.
I feel that I can find a solution. I see it. I see have that burning in me that I know what
Desire.
equality. We keep talking about gender equality. It's something that could
Yes.
be faced. Let's look from away from equity and equality. Let's focus on equity and all that. So when I start talking about what I want to do, people get really mad,
Yeah.
right? This service provider, who I have met because I was told that this is what they do for like entrepreneurs. So, and this person was an African too and works in that place. And I was like, oh, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. This is what I would do. And I always remember this man would say, oh, I do that too. Oh, okay. I have a project in Nigeria too, like a farming project and a microloan project for women that I used to
Yeah.
support them. I will say
Micro
this:
what? Can you say that?
microloan.
Okay, micro loan. Okay, in Nigeria.
Yes, and farming
Wow,
project.
that's good.
I've been doing this and for like 4 years now. So I will be seeing that, I didn't know that this man would say, oh, I do that too. I do that too. And I'm like, okay, good. I'm not in competition with you. This is what I intend to do. This is what I want to do. Can you help me? And it got to one point in our conversation. And we're talking, I was like, this is what I want to do. This is what I've done so far. Because if you know me too, people wonder too, how is this woman been able to do so much with little, right? How is she able to, that's another thing that comes to people, man. So
Yeah.
this man, and then when I meet with him and I talk about what I was going to do, and when I follow up with a meeting, I say, I've done it. I think the thing wanted him to say, how did, I don't know what happened in his mind. So basically what he told me, he was like, Tracy, I was like, how many times did I call you? 3 times. Go home and focus on your children. You are too ambitious. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
I was so broken. Like I was so
Yes.
broken to know that even think of somebody that was put there to support
Yes.
people, especially the immigrant, to get to where they are, is actually saying this to me. So I'm just giving that as an example. So if
Yes.
I actually now listen to this man and not further because of what he has got to say, because there is a lot of things that is shown in my front as being a mother, being an immigrant, being a black woman. That if I don't know she might go because of what he just said, that means I am going to be limited. So going back
Yes.
to the question that you asked, women are in poverty because one, there is no support and people are not believing in them a lot. People,
Yes.
there's a societal construct that feels you are supposed to be this and you
Yes.
should be that and you should know your place in the society. Of course, I don't have to say that. Even in our course that we came back,
Yeah. It's
always
about
say,
doing gender.
yeah,
Yeah.
know
It's
your
gender
space.
roles. Yeah.
They tell you to your face. In Nigeria, they don't have it. Like, you know your place and stay there. Even conversation that I still have today, I still hear that. So women are in that place because when they hear that now, the people that are supposed to be supporting them are the one that is bringing them down. In that
No.
case, like that man that is being paid by the government to
Yes.
support is telling me this, which I'm not, I'm going to be naming the person later, and I'm going to like, you remember this? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So yeah. So and now maybe the husband that is supposed to be supporting a woman with kids
Yes.
saying, "Hey, woman, you have to go cook." Right? So because of
Yeah.
those or a workplace that is supposed to promote a woman to a managerial role, whereby when I tell my client and my
Yes.
candidates today, there's no doubt. The reason why you have to aim to get to the top is that you have more money, right?
Yeah.
You have to do it. Your lifestyle is different. I've seen it in the participants that I've worked with. Like you live a lot when you are in leadership role. That is number one benefit. So if as a
Yeah.
woman, if you push towards that because you want to have that as a goal, is a positive thing. But if your manager at work, who is supposed to make that happen, now
Yeah.
telling you because you have 5 kids, you cannot
Mhm.
be able to do the work. Imagine you're going to be remaining in that low hanging and earning what? So that's going to
Yeah.
narrow you down to remaining in that zone of poverty. So
Mhm.
I can go into so many ways
I get it. Yeah.
men are in poverty, but I
Hmm.
just feel it's because they don't get support that they need
That's
because
good.
they're thinking that they are not adequate enough for a
Yeah.
regular thing that they're supposed to do,
Hmm.
or they don't have the time. Have you seen a situation whereby you're being told, "Oh, you won't have the time. Oh, to run for that politics, you won't have the time." Like
Yes.
they're basically narrating your story for you,
For
or
you.
you see yourself. You know,
Yes.
I've been told by my candidate that they say because they got pregnant while they were doing something, their professor or whatever will tell them, "You're not supposed to have kids while you're in school. You're not supposed to do this." You're being
Hmm.
told where you have to do. So if you're not
Mhm.
the one that is stubborn to say, "You know what, I'm going to get it done and prove them wrong," a lot of women find that as discouraging and they give up the race. And because of
Hmm.
that, they remain the poverty range. So I don't want to go on into other things with discrimination.
Thank you. So, yeah.
Same, those things added to it will get women in poverty zone and keep them there for the longest
Yes.
time. So that's just the idea.
Yeah. Thank you so much. You've actually unpack that question to your best of ability, which I think it is. Number one, as you've just said, you said they lack support. And again, another thing that you said that I can take from what you said was gender role, the way they've positioned women. They are doing gender. They said, okay, as a woman, you're supposed to be here. The kitchen is yours. Women are nurturing in nature. Women can do this, women can do that. Trying to do gender. So you've been assigned gender assignments. This is what you're supposed to do as a woman. So when you're going past that assignment, what has been prescribed to you as a woman, then something is not right. Okay, because you have a role that has been prescribed to you. This is your role as a woman, and you have to do it. That is doing gender. And all these are all socially constructed. You've just mentioned it. So, with that being said, that will marginalize, that will keep women in a certain position, that will reduce them, that will limit them. Okay, maybe you want to go into the field of engineer, you're trying to go into some field, they go like, no, as a woman you can't do this, or you can't be a CEO, or who is going to take care of your kids as a woman. That's limiting that woman. You're limiting their strengths, you're limiting what they can do as women. So for me personally, I really love what you said. If they don't want to give us a seat, we take our mats there and sit down. Yeah, we have to. If they don't give you a seat, ladies, if you're watching right now, you take your mat or take your seat from your home, sit down there.
We
Okay,
have
we
to
gotta
learn.
do that.
In addition to what he said, we have to learn to be
Yes,
ambitious, to
yes,
secure our seats, because this is something that will not be given to you, especially when you're a
yes,
woman of color.
yeah,
So learning to secure your seat at the table is
yeah,
your own, how would I say, that should be your own goal. Like it's you
yes,
should be there, because once you secure your seat, not only is that going to support your children coming. Trust me, I have
yeah,
girls right now, they're on fire. Like they're on fire. My girls are so everything. Now it's going to start reflecting the society, but until we learn to know that we as a women, and also especially with when you're by work or immigrant, we have to go
yes,
take our
mhm,
seats at the table, secure it by ourselves.
yes,
Nobody is going to do
yes.
that for us.
And I really love that, because if you're watching, Viewers, if you're watching wherever you're watching from, as a woman, trust me, especially as Black immigrant women, we are already marginalized as a woman. And again, as a Black immigrant woman, you know what it means to be in this space. You have to fight for what you believe. You have to have that burning desire. It is not going to be easy. She has just told you. We go through so many things to get to where, if you want to be somebody, you have to pass through so many things, of course. But as a woman, it becomes even more challenging, okay, because of the fact that we are, they try to place us in a limited position. You, of course, you have the same potential, just like the main child. Okay, do not limit yourself. Gender role, they've used gender role to limit so many women, and they've told them, consistently told them, that, you know what, you can do this as a woman, you can't do that as a woman. Because of that, most women are take it in, and they are now using that to, to just navigate their way, and they limit themselves. You have to, if you believe that you can do something and you have a desire for it, go for it. If there's any table and they said there's no seat for you, take your seat or take your mat, be part of that conversation. Join them in that conversation. At the end of the day, they will say kudos to you. That is how it is. So thank you so much. And that is why you see most women, when we look at the statistics today, women are more in poverty everywhere all over the world. We have to take care of kids. We have to do so much. You stay home, you take care of kids, take care of the house chores, take care of everything. Unpaid labor. Those are unpaid labor. You go to work and come back home, do another double day labor that is not paid for. They feel like, okay, it is your job, it is your duty. All we need to do is to also teach a male child how to do the same home chores. It is not just for women alone, but we are human beings. So
Mm-hmm.
that is what will help us to change the women's story, to change the narrative of poverty that we see today, that we have more women in poverty. Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to have this quickly. Um, if we have to start changing this narrative, it
Yeah.
has to start from home. They said
Yeah.
charity begins at home. I know
Yeah.
the generation right now, gender wise, we are
Yeah.
already facing disparity, right? That's
Yeah.
just being gender. But when you also say, like, as a woman, you already have all these challenges that is going to stop you
Yeah.
from wanting to do that. And now being a woman of color,
Yeah.
being like, that's an additional layer. That's
Yes.
the intersectionality within that,
Yeah.
right? No,
Yeah. Intersectionality, other intersecting factor. Yeah.
that also like makes it harder for you to get. That's what when you look into leadership position now, not only are few women there, when you also zoom down the lens, it is next to impossible, or sometimes fewer women of color are in a place. You know what I mean? It's mostly dominated by men. So
Mm-hmm.
how do we start changing that ideology? Charity begins at home. How
Yes.
you assign your tax at home should
Mm-hmm.
reflect how you want to see the world. Yeah,
Yes.
people that follow me on my storyline, I really like all my daughters, except for the last one I'm still keeping to myself. My daughter plays soccer. All my kids, all my sons play soccer. You know what I mean? When it comes
Yes.
to cooking, everyone
Yes.
cooks, everyone clean, everyone
Yes.
does that. Like, it's equally. Like, and I show it
Yes.
off on social media because like, I like that, I like that. So yeah, if you want to see a society that, just as I said, Canada too has to reflect what the diversity it have in all those leadership positions. That's how I believe the way we want to see the world is how we should start training our children from home, not actually demarcating to say, oh, men does that, women does that, men wears the women wear pink and all that. So we should start working towards what, at least we can start from where we are right now, walk
Yes.
the future of how we want to see our society moving forward. Because if we don't start thinking these days, women are going to remain in poverty even in 100 years to come. Because
Yeah.
there's a narrative too that as a woman, if you want to pursue your ambitious goal, you have to stay away from doing what your biological or your tendency of natural is. That means if you want to get in politics, don't have kids, don't have that. If you want to get in the
Yeah.
managerial position, you have to stay away from all this, all that, all that. You have to act like the male counterpart, which is another way of viewing that. I've seen that from some of the companies that I work with and all that. Once you say I'm pregnant, they demote you. Once you can
Yes.
get back from your maternity leave, they demote you. And these women cannot say, because these women are looking, and once they demote you, your salary goes down. What do you
Yeah.
expect? That woman now that used to feed herself or used to have a higher salary being a
Yeah.
single woman, now that she has two or
Yeah.
extra mouths to feed, but because she chooses to have a child, you're demoting her for making that choice and then reducing her salary.
Yes.
How would that woman not remain in poverty? Just
Of
answer that.
course. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. Right now, viewers, we are just going to go on a 30-second break. We'll be right back. Thank you.
And watch prestigious talk show.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm live with Tracy Berry, the leader of Grow Women Canada. She's here. She's live with us on prestigious talk show. I have been asking her different questions with regards to career advancement, and we've talked about so many things and how and why most immigrant women are in poverty, even here in Canada. We know that women all over the world, statistics of people that are in poverty, when you look at the statistics all over the world, women are more susceptible to be in poverty. So we're just discussing about it, and Tracy is here to answer any question that you have. Please feel free to send us your messages. If you have any question, please feel free. I'll read it out to Tracy and she'll be able to answer you. So we are just going to go to the next question that we have for Tracy today. She has done so well by answering the other questions. I am really amazed to see what she has done here in Canada. Tracy, she's a wonderful woman. She's doing amazing job here in Canada. So our next question is, what can we do to combat this poverty? What can we do to fight this poverty that we yeah, what can we do to
Okay.
combat this poverty?
I think we already talked a little bit about it.
Yes, I just want you to, because it's just
Uh,
yeah, you see the questions. Yeah,
Introduction about it, saying that
yes,
charity begins at home. And
yeah,
how we, because for me, when I work on what I work today, I hardly want to say government, government, government. I don't want.
yes,
I feel that it starts with us. It starts with you and I.
yes,
Those changes of our ideology, our mindset has to
yes,
change in order for us to start seeing the changes that we need. Government
yes,
actually, on the other end, is after we've done our part, then we'll then
yes,
expect the government to do what is theirs, right? In most
yeah,
time, that is after majority of things has been settled. Let's say, for example, when it comes to hiring decision, it's not a government that is. Yes, there's policy in place, which we can talk about how that plays a role in how the hiring manager will decide to hire a woman, or sorry to say, or a woman of color and all that. It's
yeah,
all embedded. And for me, I'm a strong advocate now when I work with companies to tell them what is your policy, because I
mm,
can see what is your policy is what is restricting us from seeing a diverse workplace, right?
yes,
I think that's where the government has to really step in to do the work,
mhm,
which Canada did. It was just, I think, because of this pandemic, it wasn't moved forward. I think it was called BC 25 that was passed in 2019, officially passed in 2019, and then the pandemic came. That was to see that the workplace has to be diverse. I don't want to go into that. So what we can do to do that is understanding that one, I'll talk from the aspect of women, and that also go to every other marginalized group, which can be
mhm,
disabled,
yeah,
be into like the LGBT, the same thing, because I advocate for all of these groups. You know what I mean?
mm,
We have to know that they need support. You know what I mean? And that is why now some of the program that we're rolling out from under Grow Women Leaders, not only are we developing those women, but we understand in order for them to advance, it doesn't matter being it in professional, being it in business, being it in civic engagement, you have to provide women with adequate support that
yeah,
they will be needed. You understand?
mm,
We're going to move away from all size fit all, like one size fit all
yes,
ideology, into understanding that if a woman is in my workplace, if an LGBT person is in my workplace, or if it's
Yes. How can we
BIPOC,
accommodate her?
how do we
Yes.
accommodate them and
Yeah.
truly accommodate them? Only when we start thinking about it, the ripple effect from that is what is
Yes.
going to be elevating women out of poverty. You understand?
Yes.
Serving people, not just, I see a lot of people now that say they still earn less. Well, not of women. The earning gap, the wage gap is high. Even in
Yeah.
Canada, it is so high that you do the same work as a male counterpart, but you're still paid less. And it's hush hush. And
Yeah.
for an immigrant women
Yeah.
that I speak to, why don't you speak against this injustice? They will say, Tracy, I don't want to lose my job. Who is going to listen to me? And I see some people as an immigrant, they try to challenge that and they set them up. Like after
Yeah.
you speak, they're like, oh yes, we heard you. Yeah, I think that is not fair. We're going to speak to the HRO. And then
Yeah.
4 months down the road, they fire
Yeah.
them.
They
They're
put
speaking
that
up.
person out.
Yeah, so you see, all those things now will definitely leave a woman in poverty. So how
Yes.
can we start, elevating women out of that? Is support, creating a targeted, exclusive support, not just for all women. Understanding the difference between equality and equity, and how it comes to some group. Some of this group will be needing equities form of support. That is when, and I can go into detail how that can go. But for me, I am doing that under my organization right now to say, hey, if you're a woman, I know you need additional help with maybe when it comes to eating healthy, taking care of your family. There's a support for that. Maybe on ongoing, there's going to be additional support for childcare. There's going to be support for that. And also mentoring. There's going to be coaching, which we have
Yes.
all those things in place. So those things shouldn't just be like bro doing that. Those things has to be embedded into organization in order for women to not just move forward, move up the corporate ladder, in order for them to start getting them out of poverty. Those things
Yes.
have to be talked about, which
Yeah.
is the least going on. But in the first place, to start elevating women is support, and that also mean that we should also think that it doesn't have to be professional support like employment support. It can also be like a woman that wants. I just found out that I love business, right? I'm not in any way function as a professional or employee in any way, right? And I see there's a lot of women like me that wants to start businesses, right?
Yes.
There should be
Small
some
scale. Yeah.
small businesses. Like there should be support for them. And
Yes.
you heard about the loan that just came out, which I thought was a brilliant idea, right?
Yes.
Just kind of initiative that you see what I mean when I say support, thinking outside the box to say, hey, this group, they've been facing injustice for so long. Creating those sort of support, and not just for Black people only. I think
Yeah.
they should do more than that. You
Yeah.
understand? Everyone has, like every group has to get the support that they deserve, just like what they've done with
Yes.
Black loan. So I'm also advocating that they should look beyond just Black people. I know Black has been, in any way underlooked and never served in a long way. So after this is done and successful, I believe that initiative should be moved. Those are the kind of support that I feel should be given to group in order for them to start not just elevating them, but elevating their women out of poverty. And research that we put together, it is mind-blowing to see every ethnic group where the women fall under the graph. It is below, always below. Even when it comes to immigration, the stats around that is crazy. The men are given more preference, and women are always brought in as a companion and all that. The stats around, the man is going to come work, he's going to bring the wife, and that is why when the stats is done, it's mostly done around men, right? And you also look the opportunity for immigrant right now. The men are earning more than their wife. It's there, right?
Of course.
What can we start doing? And those things can be a ripple effect to elevate a woman out of poverty.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Tracy. That's wonderful. You've been able to just you know um unpack that question very well. And again, we're just quickly going to read. I have a comment from Katia Valino. She said, "I'm interested in knowing what really inspired her to do what she do. Who is her biggest role model?" So Katia is asking you that question. Please tell her. So I promised to read out the comments. I saw the comments now. I didn't go to the comment section. early enough. So yeah, she wants to know who your biggest role model is.
Uh, uh, no, I don't know where I'm going to start. Yes, my inspiration starts from seeing all these amazing women that I see that
Yes.
has a lot of potential, but is going into waste, right? That's where I feel when I see a woman, and sometimes when I speak to them, the kind of intelligence that comes all that is youths out of them. We're like, oh my God, like I do a lot of mentoring now and also coaching, especially for students that are from in the university, how I can use my word to actually inspire their life, and they come back to me and say, oh my God, that made so many. Remember what you told me during the time I was doing my internship? Actually, it's paving way for me. I didn't know about that. So for me, I never had that. You know what I mean? I basically
Yes.
everything that I've been doing, it's just like guesswork. You know what I mean? And it
Yes.
hurts me too that even though that I try to do my best, the people that I try to do it for are the one that come back and try to scrutinize me. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I didn't get support for this. Nobody is even supporting me. This is like out of my tenacity and my good way doing that.
Yes.
So what inspired me is seeing those women that I know that has more to offer to life is what inspired me. And my children too, my daughters,
Mhm.
they're very so super intelligent. I want to see
Yes.
them at the top of their career, whatever they choose to do in life. I want to see
Yes.
succeed. So I keep
Yes.
using that as my motivation to keep pushing on. And
Mm-hmm.
for a role model, until recently, I just got myself a mentor, right? And it was so hard to get a mentor. I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
that getting a mentor. Like I approached so many people to say, "Can you mentor me?" And they were so like they were like I didn't know it was hard. And that's why now my platform is so open now to say I can connect you to a mentor. That's another thing. And those are the little support that we talked about that a woman need in order to
Yes.
get herself
Yes.
out of poverty. But it's only when you
Yes.
start in that process of wanting to change your life and you're looking for those little resources that shouldn't cost you a lot, that is when that you know that those resources are very scarce, right? So
Hmm.
currently I do not look up to anyone. Like I look up to a lot of people like my mother and all that when it comes
Yeah.
professional, because what
Yeah.
I'm doing is very very purpose driven and
Yes.
all that. So I can't say, oh, that's my role model. That I haven't seen that,
Yeah.
I'm still looking. Maybe as I go into my higher career wise level, I could be able to say, oh, that is my role model. Because I try to see what am I gonna uh, I don't know. I haven't seen. I have to just leave it like that. But I'm not saying I haven't seen today doesn't mean I'm not going to see tomorrow because of how
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming up. And if you see the program that we are created, it
Mm-hmm.
is very different. It's never been done. It has never been done. Like I have to say
Mm-hmm.
that the program that we
That's
done, it's
good.
never been done. Is very unique. It's very tailored. And trust
Mm-hmm.
me, it's copyrighted and all the IP are all in place. So
Wow.
and out of what was in my head, and I put it down, right? So I
Hmm.
wouldn't say because of what this person was doing gave me no. It was if there was anyone being my role model, it was the women that I worked with during the project 150 that gave me the inspiration to create what I've created today, which is very very different from out there. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. That is really wonderful. Before we go to before we digress into our last question, but before then, I would like you to just answer this. How can immigrants, Black women in the workplace, make their mark? How can they make their mark to be known as, to be relevant in that place of work? What advice? How can they make their mark? What do you think they can do to make their mark as an immigrant person in the workplace, especially Black immigrants, women? What do you
You,
think?
you see, Faith, everything starts with mindset, right?
Yes.
And I've been studying, like, not only am I studying, I'm studying so many, not book wise, but I'm
Yes.
studying like
Yeah.
individual
Yes.
behavior,
It's still studying. Yeah.
I
It's
don't
under
know.
ethnography. Yes.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
studying people's
Mhm.
behavior, and again,
Yes. That's a lot.
starting from myself, what I used to believe on, and now moving forward, and where I am today, the difference that has changed, how that has changed my life, just
Hmm.
from listening to people's stories, studying their behavior, and just taking. So it starts from mindset, right?
Hmm.
Really knowing who you are
Yes.
matters.
Yes.
And when I speak to some women today, even though that I see the potential in them,
Yes.
they don't even know who they are. And that used to be me before. You don't know that you are a destructor if you choose to as a woman. Like if you
Yes.
set your mind to anything that you
Yeah.
can accomplish it, right? So what I would say in addition to that is knowing who you are start from having a positive mindset and
Yeah.
setting a goal and not being all over. The word I wanted to use, don't be a jack of all trade, a master of
Yes.
none. And that is
Yeah.
what women do. Oh, this one is happening today. Social networking. I'm going to go try that. This one is happening today. You have to go into healthcare. I'm going to go try that. Oh, they said it's this one. Like you're not, you're just everywhere. You understand? And then when they ask you to say, what are you doing? You say, oh, it's because of my kids. Oh, it's because I go to this. Oh, Tracy, you don't understand. How will you be able to move up? So now I narrowed that, those examples that I just gave you, I narrowed that into a workplace. Wherever you are today is okay, but make that decision to say, I am going to get to the tip of where this is going to lead me. Start
Yeah.
aiming high and not narrowing yourself. Another thing is that when I speak to women today, they don't even know what the management look like because they've never researched. It's none of their business. They don't have, because right now I get women into managerial roles. That's what our main goal is. Walk them,
Yes.
do everything that it is. Whatever it is in your peak of your career, we want to get you there. That's what we say we grow women leaders, right? And then we connect you and all that. So, but some women come to me today and ask about, oh, Tracy, I want to earn more. I want to get this. And then ask them a back question. We're like, currently, where are you? Have you researched what the management look like? Is that where you yourself becoming? And they've been there in that place for a long time. And they say, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So, you know what I mean? So for a Black woman, there's going to be a lot of things thrown at you. There's going to be racism. There's going to be discrimination. But if you are fixed, if your heart is fixated on where you want to go, nothing can stop you. So anything I can tell you right now is go find time to do research on where you currently are to say what is the peak of this and make a determination to get there. Even though you start throwing stones and bricks at you, it's never going to stop you. But clarity of where you want to go to and how you're going to, when you get there, how you're going to use that to impact other people's life is actually going to be a big difference. I don't want to ask you and then I say, what is it like? Where do you want to go? You don't get clarity. Until you get clarity and not dabble into so many things at once is definitely certain to help you getting a better life, not just for you, but for those around you, because it's going to make a positive impact in your children's life, in those people that are watching you, because those people will be challenged to be like you because you're focused, your heart is fixated on where you're going, and you're not letting anything that comes your way crush you. It only crushes you when you are not there, when you're not present. You don't know the in and out. You don't know the politics. When they ask you how is it like, and those are the people too that the employers tend to toy with because you don't know your rights. If you know your rights, wait for me.
You'll be afraid. Yeah, because they know.
I'll let that bad thing happen before you start reading what the policy is. You already know. And then another thing I will also advise you is to work on your personal branding. Personal branding. Start from your name, from what you've achieved, and then bring it to the forefront of everything that you do. Once you are able to work on your personal branding, trust me, I'm going to talk as an African woman now. Like, you know, you've identified all those things that are unique about you and you put it to the forefront. Even before those people that wants to do stupid thing against you as a woman, right, or as a BIPOC woman, they know that you know yourself through how you carry yourself. So those two things is how I can go into details, but if you want to learn more, go visit us and see how we can work with you. Trust me, bring it from the top and put it to the bottom in no time.
Yes. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Viewers, before we go to the last question, we would like to go on 30 seconds break. We'll be right back. All right, viewers. Live with me is Tracy Berry. She's live with me here on Prestigious Talk Show. We've had a conversation about career development for immigrant women, Black women here in Canada, and she has discussed extensively about how women can make progress in their lives. Tracy has given advices. She has given the solution. She talked about different solution, how we can change things. And in order for us to change things, it has to start with us. It has to start from our home. We shouldn't blame it on the government. We have to start by changing ourselves and also be open to change. Okay, we have to also have this growth mindset. So if you're in any position and you are afraid to aspire higher, you have to have this growth mindset. Don't be stagnant in any position. Try to climb up there. Don't be afraid because you're a woman. Don't be afraid because you're an immigrant woman. Don't say, oh, I am an immigrant woman. They won't give me this position. You have to try so that you at the end of the day you leave your own mark, impacts somebody, change something about your life. If there's anything you don't like in your life that you want to change, you can do it. All you need to do is just to be willing to do it. You have to have that burning desire to change your lifestyle. Okay, as a woman. Okay, nobody can do it for you. All we are doing here is just to give you the tools and the support that we can. That is what we are doing here. Okay, what we are doing is also changing lives right now and transforming lives to impact lives. And Tracy has been able to give you different tips on how you can change your career, what to do as an immigrant woman. And if you're new in Canada, you don't know what to do, you can look up to her. You can also contact her. I'm going to leave her information on this. After this show, I will leave her information. You'll be able to reach out to her, and she will also tell you how you can reach out to her too. So, Tracy, thank you so much. So, the last question for today before we leave is what advice do you have for women who want real leadership opportunities at their place of work but have imposter syndrome? Okay, the experiencing of feeling imposter syndrome are those women that don't believe in themselves. They can do it, but they think that, oh, I don't think it's good enough. I don't think I don't think I'm intelligent enough. They consistently doubt themselves. And again, most women who have experienced that imposter syndrome are mainly marginalized Black immigrant women because of what they've been told, maybe because of their accent or because of where they are coming from. They will not have that imposter syndrome. I don't think I'll be good enough for this position, this managerial position. I don't think I'll be able to apply to this company because they won't like me. So this imposter syndrome, how can we eradicate it? What advice do you have for those women who want to climb the ladder but they don't believe in themselves? Please tell them.
To say imposter syndrome is real.
Yes.
Even
Yeah.
when you're at the peak of your career, there are some times you're gonna be like, oh my God.
You
Like
doubt yourself.
so small, you're like, how did I get here? Do I
Yes.
in? And
Yes.
trust me, it's harder when you get to the top.
Yes.
It's harder because when you're gonna be the only woman in the room,
Mhm.
or one of the few women in the room, most
Mhm.
especially the woman of color, you're gonna be
Yes.
like, oh God. And then maybe you start doubting everything about yourself. Like, oh,
You.
an
Yes.
example would be, oh, I have 5 kids. How do I get here? I don't have this qualification that is paid. So it's a real
Yes.
thing that needs to be dealt with. And for me,
Yes.
I think it's really tied to psychology in a way, and,
Yes.
and it has to be, as I said before this question is like really knowing who you are.
Yes.
I've also worked with some women, like I think this is what you call luck or miracle. Like good
Yes.
things happen to them and everybody
Yes.
sees it. And then when they are not having that self battle in
Doubt. Yeah.
doubt of, oh my God, this just happened to me as a result of miracle or
Yeah.
something good happening to me. But how do I really deal with it to be able to make the best of it? It is real. And it ties to a lot of things. And
Yes.
in some cases, this is where I will advise some women. What is that thing that is giving you fear? You have to explore it more. What is that? Like as Faith measured, it might be what you've been told. And sometimes not just what you're being told as an adult. It
Is
can also be
yeah.
what you've been told when you were growing up. It can be
Yes.
tied to your environment that you grew up with.
Yes.
And subconsciously, you keep acting that way. If you've read my book,
Yes.
you see that. Like like where I'm coming from. I am not the one that have it at all together. Like when it comes to like this being in Canada here is a miracle. You know what I mean? And now doing what I'm doing is an additional miracle. So I fall in that category if I don't work on myself to then say what I'm getting today and the recognition that I'm getting and the satisfaction that I'm getting from my work. I can easily say, oh my God, can you imagine? I didn't go to one Canadian university or go to one team from back home, you know what I mean? Or I didn't have the father or the mother or sibling that would say how to do it. How did I get here? It is something that can come in, but my mindset is something that I have to work on every day, reminding myself that I deserve it. If there's a growth in the society, it doesn't mean that has to affect me. It's people's ideology, because what I have for myself is getting to the top. And seriously, I'm a faith woman. I also know what God has for me will never change. I remind myself of God's promises every day. God put me here because He's found me fit to be here. It doesn't matter what people are thinking about me. So you repeating that to yourself and building that, those things that you want to wear, and really building that and living it anyway, it's going to help you eliminate. It's a gradual process. I have to say, it doesn't come overnight. You know, this is where your affirmation comes in place. This is where your what do you talk? What do you say to yourself?
Yes.
You know, when those little things arise in yourself, what do you say? This is where your affirmation and knowing who you are, your personal branding, this is what it comes to play. In case when those voices come creeping in to tell you, you don't deserve, that's what imposter syndrome is. Like something telling you don't deserve this. You know, you cannot do this. You remind yourself, oh my God, I know who I am. Like you heard that in Nigeria, I know who I am.
Exactly.
I am what God says I am. I am in this place because I am going to be here. So you get out of my way, right? I am going to enjoy it every day. I'm going to walk it with that. You will get so, because when you start aiming high, you're going to get into meetings whereby you have to get your heels and you're going to walk into the meeting where they are men. In this case, you have to keep reminding yourself, telling yourself all the positive word that it needs to hear. And
self-affirmation.
Self-affirmation. If you don't work on it right now and you stumble upon it, trust me, it gets worse as you go along. Because on top there, it is lonely like here. Like I have to tell you.
That is why we need more women.
That is where we need more women, because nobody's going to be there to hold your hands. You know what I mean? So starting with that, once you know where you're going to, you have to start programming yourself. Because once you start aiming high there, you will see that it's very lonely on top of there and you are going to be on your own, okay? So once you start working on the mindset, the self-affirmation, your branding, your personal branding, and really those little things that you have to do, educating yourself, you will see that you are understanding that you're worth it. You're worth it to get in politics. You're worth it to get in those managerial roles. You're worth it to be a CEO. You're worth it to be an entrepreneur and be wherever you want to be. You can. And because of you, others are going to watch you and emulate yourself and say like that. It is possible. It is possible. It starts from how do you view yourself and what do you say about yourself?
Oh my goodness, you couldn't have said it better. I just love how you wrap it up. You said you're worth it. It depends on how you see yourself, and what you say to yourself. You have to know that you're worth it. Okay, it is based on meritocracy. You merited it, and that was why you were given that position. And you have to start seeing yourself in a power position in politics. Don't let anybody tell you that, oh, we don't have women in politics. Women should not be in this space. I just love the way you sum everything up. The fact that women should know that they are worth it. Do not second guess yourself. If anybody try to tell you, and it's even that little voice inside your head, if it's telling you that, oh, you're not good enough, you have to do this self-affirmation. I am good enough. That's why I'm here. Okay. I am good enough. That's why I was chosen. I am good enough. That's why I'm doing this show. Okay. That is why I'm doing this show. I feel like, yes, nobody else can do this. It's just me. And that is why I'm doing this show.
And nobody can do it the way you do it.
I will do it. Yeah. The way I will do it. I have my own unique style, my own unique self. Nobody, you can do the same thing, but you are going to be unique in your own way. Don't let anybody talk you down or tell you less of yourself. Even that little voice inside your head, just try to talk back to that voice and say, no, listen to me. I am better. I am better, and I know I am a greater, I'm going to be greater up there. So God has prepared this table before me, and I'm going to be there. Everybody will see. I really love the fact that you said women should know that they are worth it. Don't doubt yourself. You want to be in leadership position, know that you're worth it. Tracy has just given you all the tips and the advice. Okay, please, if you've not watched this video, go watch this video, share this video with your family members, with your friends. They need to see this video. Okay, it encompasses around everything, not just only a place of work. Now, your life as a woman, when you watch this video, your life will be transformed. Thank you, viewers, for watching. Thank you, everyone. Tracy, I really want to thank you for taking your time to be live with us here on Prestigious Talk Show. I can't even thank you enough. We have a lot to do. I am looking forward to inviting you again because I know you have so much. Okay, you have so much that you're planning to execute in the future, and I know you can do it because I remember when you first started, it wasn't like this. It was, you started small. Okay, now you've expanded. Now you have a firm where you teach women how to develop their in their career, career enhancement and all that.
And
So
and
you are doing so.
get hired. Like that means
Yeah.
recruitment
Yes.
aspect. Too. Yes.
Yes, how they can get higher and also secure a better position in their place of work. So she has a fame. So Tracy, you can see her keep growing. Tracy is growing like is. At first she was a seed. Now she is blossoming. I can attest to that. And even that name suits what she's doing. Grow women leaders. Oh my goodness. I really want to thank you once again, Tracy Berry, for stopping by your life with us today. Thank you so much for giving us your time and also for educating our viewers. Thank you so much. So viewers, I want to thank you for taking your time to watch this video. Thank you all for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and also remember, you are not alone. You want to advance your career, you are an immigrant, you don't know how to do it, you're stuck. Remember, you are not alone. Tracy, before you leave, sorry, I didn't tell you to tell our viewers if they want to see you. Where can they find you? Please.
Yes, you can follow me on all at my social media handle is Tracy
Okay.
B Grow. So you can also
Okay.
Tracy B Grow, and our website is www.growwomenleaders.com. And every in there, trust me, we are able to connect you and serve you in any way that you want when it comes to leadership wise. All right.
All right. Thank you once again, viewers. We are going to leave you right now. Please, as I've said earlier on, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And remember, you are not alone. I'll see you next time. I remain your host, Feta Dodo. Bye.